I use the N-word all the time with my son, and my husband uses it too. Hey, what's up? It's Candace from Gigglezilla.com, and as you know, I am passionate about helping parents and caregivers build a toolkit that they can use to take care of their kids. I have been gone for a month because I needed a break. I was getting really stressed out, and my husband was like, just take a break from all social media, which I did, which is nice. I've also opened my in-home preschool, which I'm standing in right now. So I want to talk about the N-word with you guys today, okay? I know it's a little controversial, and the N-word that I'm talking about is the word no. I know in this culture that we live in right now, we are very much about teaching kids to be autonomous, encouraging their autonomy, encouraging their individuality. If you don't want to do something, you shouldn't do it. Just do whatever feels right to you. And in so doing, we have come to this place where we are afraid to tell our kids no. I think that fear comes from a few myths. Number one, we think that if we tell our kids no, that it will thwart their individuality. They won't become who they want to be because they constantly heard no, so it'll kind of squash the person that they were going to become. That is absolutely not true, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. The second myth is that telling your kids no teaches them to become robots. So they want to do something, you tell them no, they then just have to obey what you say and never learn to do things on their own. They basically just take orders, follow what the grown-up says, and go through life in a very robotic way. Also not true. And the third myth, you guys, is that gentle parents, people who practice GP, never tell their kids no. That is so far from the truth that it's not even funny. You can be a gentle parent and use redirection and still tell your kids no. Using the word no with your kids is a loving boundary for them. It protects them, and whether you tell them no now or you don't, no is coming their way fast and furious. Whether it's in their kindergarten class, their teacher's gonna tell them no, their friends are gonna tell them no, I don't wanna play with you. They're gonna get their first job, their manager or their coworker will say no. You go to the grocery store and the grocery store tells you no because they all out of your favorite chips, right? Like, they're going to be confronted with no every step of their life for the rest of their life. So you are setting them up for success when you introduce no in a very healthy and loving way. So let's deal with this first myth here, that telling your kids no doesn't allow them to be who they are. So first of all, when I say you're telling your kids no, it really is to protect them, to keep them physically safe, mentally safe, and emotionally safe. They can be who they are outside of those parameters, right? So for example, my son loves to climb. He wants to climb on the countertops, climb on the table, climb on the chairs, climb on the shelves in the store. By telling him no, he cannot do that, that's not making him less of an individual. I am protecting him and I am keeping him safe. So what I do is say, you know what? I see you want to climb. It's very clear you love climbing. You know what I did? I went to OfferUp and I found him a pickler triangle. He can climb on that thing all day long. He is still who he's going to be even when I say no to him. The next thing, kids are not going to become robots because you told them no. I am a Christian, okay? It is a biblical principle that kids obey their parents, right? Like, I learned that growing up and I expect that from my son. Even if you are not a Christian, your child still needs to listen to direction from you. It's very important, usually because you're trying to tell them something for their own good. I heard no a lot growing up. Do I look like a robot to y'all? I'm the most unique person that I know. I love myself, I am confident, and I heard no a lot growing up. Kids need to hear no. The friends that I have that their parents never told them no, they literally have said to me, I wish my parents would have put more boundaries in place. I wish my mom and dad would have said no to me more. Believe it or not, they won't become robots and they actually crave those boundaries. They crave a space where there are limits. They need that in their life, I promise you. Here's the only thing you have to be careful of. Just arbitrarily throwing out no for absolutely no reason. It doesn't even make sense. You're just, no, we're not gonna do that, no. Sometimes I say no to something, I'm like, you know what? He wants to go outside right now. I said no, but maybe we'll go outside a little bit later, okay? So I said no for right now, but maybe later we can go outside, because sometimes I'm doing something that doesn't allow me to drop what I'm doing and take him outside. So another thing you can do is say, not right now. Some people aren't comfortable telling their kids no. If you ain't told your kid no all this time, start with not right now, okay? And then move into your no. But if you say no, you need to mean it. And it's really tough, you guys. I know it is, because you don't always just want to be saying no all the time. And you also don't want to have to sit there and think for 5 minutes about whether or not you're going to say yes or no. If you say no, mean it, but it's also okay to say yes sometimes. Don't just say no to every single thing every single time they ask you. The key point to that, you guys, is really about finding balance. It's about finding balance, and it's about introducing no to them, because they need to learn to accept other people's no. Let me tell you why. I know we live in a world where everybody think they a snowflake. Everybody think they real special and real unique. I understand that. I look at my son, I'm like, he's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I love him. But the world does not revolve around him. Other people's lives and their decisions do not revolve around him. He needs to learn to accept other people's no's, and in that, he learns to accept other people's boundaries. If I am doing the dishes and he's like, I really want to go outside. This kid loves going outside. That's why I keep using that example. All day long, he wants to go outside. He wants to play. And I say, no, we're not gonna go outside right now, and then we're gonna eat dinner, and maybe after dinner. He don't like that answer. Guess what he learns though? Mommy has some things she needs to do as well. I have to accept other people's no's. That's what he learns when I tell him no, within reason, right? The other side of that coin is it teaches them to use their no. That's probably the fourth myth. People are afraid their kid is gonna start telling them no. You can't avoid that. You cannot avoid having your child tell you no. They will. Everybody knows, toddlers, their favorite word is no, okay? So you use no appropriately. It also teaches them that their no has value, okay? I'm gonna say this real quick. Consent starts in infancy. I'll do a video about that later. Consent is not just about sex, okay? No is a word of boundary, and your kids need to learn it. They need to learn when to use it. Obviously, toddlers is a real special group because they're really testy at that age. But if you honor their no and teach them that, you know what, he said no, he doesn't want somebody picking him up, maybe he'll take that with him when he gets older, right? Like, that's my goal. When somebody tries to hold my son, or pick him up, or give him a high five, whatever it is, he shakes his head no, or he signs all done. I say, oh, it looks like he does not want you holding him, okay? I am validating his no. It's so important that we do that and teach him boundaries as a young individual. That way, when he's in middle school, high school, all the kids are doing what they do, he doesn't want to do that. He's like, you know what? I have the power to say no, and I will. Listen, when it's time to go to bed, and I say you need to put your pajamas on and lay down, and he tells me no, that's a non-negotiable, right? So this is what I'm talking about with balance, right? It's a fine balance for the parents. It's also a fine balance for the kids. If I say it's time for you to go to bed, that's what I expect you to do. You saying no to me is just not gonna work in that moment. I will sympathize with you. I understand you don't wanna go to bed right now. You wanna stay up and watch cartoons. I get that. It's really important that you go to sleep though. You need good sleep so you can think, you know, and so on and so on and so on. Teaching your kids no, teaching them to respect your no and you respecting their no is a healthy boundary. Finally, you guys, you can be a gentle parent and still tell your kids no. They need to hear no. If you found any value in this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. That would be great. I would love to hear if y'all heard no a lot growing up, you never heard no, or maybe your parents got it dialed in and you heard it just enough and you're like a super well-balanced human being. Thanks, guys.